What's up, fellow Sambarians? So I wanted to kind of make a video today to address some questions that have been coming up more and more in emails and such and DMs. Basically about the squid pipe and how it's is it causing any problems on my sandbar? And I feel like this has never really been an issue before, but it seems like sandbars are becoming a little more and more popular over time. So now more and more people are jumping into the scene and, they've got questions. So I figured let's make a video and address this once again. So the question is this bad for the engine? Is it making it run lean? Is it melting spark plugs? Is it causing any sort of internal damage? Short answer, no. Long answer, we're going to pull the spark plugs. We're going to take a look at the spark plugs. A very good indication of how your engine is running is by looking at your spark plugs. Obviously, if they're super sooty and black, you're running super rich. If they're, I've gotten mixed information on this, but if they're like super white, it's probably because they're running lean, and lean is mean. So we'll see how these spark plugs look. Hopefully they're a nice tan, clean tan color. So we'll pull these out. I have not pulled them out. I have been running this for over a year now. So we're all gonna see this for the first time. No fake news here. We're gonna see what these spark plugs look like, and I'll show them to you because there might be some people who are on the fence of trying to get a header or a squid pipe exhaust from me in special case. So I just kind of want to go over that information. Spark plugs, if you would like to get one of these, and kind of some information on spark plugs you should run to kind of optimize your sandbar's performance. So let me get a couple tools and we'll pull these spark plugs out. We'll take a look. We're all going to see them for the first time. And if they're melted, then I'm an idiot and I'm ruining my sandbar. But if they look fine, then I don't know, it's fine. And I can't say it's not going to cause problems to your sandbar, because there's probably going to be that one guy with that funky tuned carburetor that potentially could mess something up because it's not running properly. But I feel like that's a pretty good outlier, and it's not real typical situation. At least for me, I'm not really messing with this thing. I'm not messing with the air and the fuel or the jets or any of that stuff. It's all completely factory. I have not touched anything on this carburetor other than, no, I haven't touched anything. I haven't even changed solenoids on this carburetor. This carburetor is how it was when I bought the truck. So, which is kind of bad because I'm the guy who likes to fix and rebuild these things, but I just haven't had time to rebuild this one, or really needed to rebuild it. So I haven't touched this one. It's completely bone stock, everything. So anyways, let me get some tools. We'll pull the spark plugs out and we'll take a look. All right, I'm back. So you're only going to need a few tools. A torque wrench. I have a snap-on torque wrench. It should be calibrated. You kind of want them to be calibrated because there's some stuff on here that requires torques, and a little bit over excessive torquing can snap some bolts. So just make sure that you have a good torque wrench and it's calibrated, because you could damage some stuff, snap some bolts. I get snap bolt questions all the time. Cam holder, cam stay bolts, and valve cover bolts. Anyways, a ratchet, an extension. There's like a 6-inch extension with a 5/8 spark plug socket. And while we're going to pull them off, I'm just going to put a little bit of dielectric grease inside the boots before I slip it back on there, because obviously it's pretty exposed back here. We don't want any water getting up inside there and causing some problems. And torque on the spark plugs is 180 inch-pounds, not foot-pounds, inch-pounds. So make sure I grab the wrong torque wrench. I'm going to have to go get my inch-pound one. I'll be right back. All right. Inch-pound. 180 inch-pound. All right, so let's start with cylinder numero uno. And when you pull the spark plug boots out, always yank from this little dongle thing here, like a little dewlap. You don't want to pull on the boot or anything because you could rip it out. So, especially if you got old spark plug wires, they're really brittle and can break. So let's go ahead and pull out spark plug number 1. Like I said, this is the first time I pulled them out, so we're in for a surprise. And I would say they're pretty tan. This already got some dielectric grease on it already. So here is cylinder number 1. We're pretty just tan. I think that looks pretty normal. It's not white like it's running lean. The diode and all that good stuff is perfectly shaped. I think we're okay. So that's cylinder number 1. Let's go ahead and put it back in. So 180 inch-pounds. Okay. And then we'll take a little dielectric grease, squirt it in the boot just a little bit. Perfect. Actually, before we put it back in there, give the boot a little wipe down. No one likes a dirty boot. So it should kind of just pop a little bit in place there. You'll feel it lock. Okay, so let's go to cylinder numero dos. And these are the NGK RXs that I'm running. They're supposed to be a little bit better than the Iridiums. Yep, that one looks good to me too. Okay, so cylinder number 2. I mean, that looks pretty good to me. It looks kind of optimal. Not lean, not too rich. Just kind of right there in the middle. So, yeah, that looks good. Okay, let's get that torque back in there. 180 inch-pounds. A little dielectric grease in the boot, just a little bit. Perfect. Okay, cylinder number 3. Now here's cylinder number 3. Man, come on, focus. Kind of hard to focus, but it looks like cylinder 2, basically. Just a tan, kind of dark. I mean, it might even be running slightly rich, which is better than it running lean. It's kind of black. Yeah, I'm gonna say that one's just fine. Let's go ahead and put that back in there. Okay, a little juice in the boost. All right, cylinder number 4. Let's check this one out now. Okay, so interesting. 1 and 4, cylinder 1 and 4 have a nice, good tan tinge to it. So I don't know. Maybe that could tell me something. But it's definitely not white. I feel like that's probably optimal. Optimal running, air fuel on that guy as well. So cool. Put that back in. Give the boot a little wipey. We'll put some squirt juice in that. Actually, there's still some in there. Tighten back up. Pushed on there. All right. Okay. So there you have it. The spark plugs looked fine. I mean, 1 and 4 was a little more tan, while 2 and 3 were a little dark. So it might have something to do with the fact that 4 and 1, the tube lengths are super short and super long. I don't know. I'm not super, I don't know a whole lot on that aspect. I know obviously equal length headers is a little bit more is more efficient than unequal length headers, but we're not dealing with Ferraris here either, so I'm not sure how much difference that's going to make. Even though there is an equal length header available, I actually have one from Greg at ATX Custom Auto. I just need to install it. I haven't had time to install it one of these days. But yeah, I'd say everything looked fine. It wasn't super black where it was a little concerning, like it was too rich. It was kind of in the middle. It could probably use a little adjustment. Like I said, I haven't touched this carburetor since I bought the truck, so it could be the carb's a little dirty and we're getting more fuel than we should be. Certainly not an issue with air, because we would be running pretty lean if we were getting too much air. And I don't feel like it's a lack of air because we have the box pretty much open right there at the air box. So it should be getting as much airflow as it could possibly take on. So if you are concerned about running a header and you think it's going to run too hot, these are a heat range 5 plug. So the carbureted sandbars came with a heat range 5. The fuel injected and supercharged came with a heat range 6 or a 7. I'm running a heat range 6 on my fuel injected sandbar, my van. So you could run a heat range 6 on your carbureted sandbar if you kind of feel like it's running a little too hot, a little too aggressive. You could run that heat range 6, kind of bring it down a little bit. But as we could see, I don't think running a heat range 6 is going to make a whole lot of difference because those 5s looked perfectly fine. And like I was saying, those are RXs. So the RXs, ruthenium or something, is supposedly a little better than iridiums, which iridiums are very popular over here. Seems like everybody has iridiums. But only in Japan could you get the RXs or the ruthenium for the sandbar. I got them for my smart car, the rutheniums or whatever, over here in the United States for my smart car, but I was unable to find them for this style plug in the States, only in Japan. So like I said, I sell the RXs, and these certainly run way more cleaner, a smoother idle than running like the normal copper style spark plugs. So even just having iridium is a step up. So iridium or RX, you're going to be just fine. Heat range 5 for the carbureted, you're going to be just fine. If you are concerned about it running super hot, you could run a step colder and do a heat range 6, which is what I sell for the fuel injected sandbars. So now let's get to the aspect of, I really want a squid pipe, or I really want this header, or whatever. So if you reach out, I will send you the guy's email that builds the squid pipes. And if you want the header as well, I'm going to try to get these in stock once again. I just have been dealing with PayPal lately, so I'm trying to get my funds back up so I could afford to buy these, because I got to buy a certain amount at a time. Otherwise, you can reach out directly to the guy who makes these headers and get yourself a header, and then you can contact Scott, and then he can, or Special K's, and he can build the muffler portion of the exhaust. I will leave, I won't leave his email, but you can contact me. I don't feel like I should leave his email out there, but you can reach out to me through my website, and then I will get you in contact with Special K's, and he can certainly help you out with getting an exhaust for your sandbar. Or he's on Instagram at Special K's. Special is normal, and then K's, Keiz, Special K's. And you can reach out to him on Instagram as well. So if you want that squid pipe, definitely contact us. If you want to run your stock manifold with a muffler, Special K's can do that too. If you want the header, then I will give you the information to the guy who sells these, and you can buy direct from him. and you can cut me out as the middleman until I get some more in my store. But I haven't been able to at the moment, but I will eventually. So just depends on when you're watching this, if I got them back in stock or not. But they are the same exact price as what he sells them, so there's no deal that way. If he sells it or I sell it, they're the same price, and it's fair to everybody. So yeah, hopefully that was helpful when it kind of get the questions of the spark plugs. How's everything looking when you're running this header? I would say everything's fine. I've been running this header and these spark plugs for over a year now, and everything looks hunky-dory down there. Nothing out of the ordinary. So yeah, hopefully that was helpful. If it wasn't helpful, I lo siento. You can you can keep searching for Sambar stuff and maybe find someone else who's doing this kind of trick stuff, but you probably won't. But yeah, cool. Thanks for stopping by on the OK Garage YouTube channel. I really appreciate it. You can subscribe, like, and all that good stuff. Trying to pump out stuff all the time for the sandbars. If you're on the fence of buying a sandbar, do it. But seriously, sandbars are the best. I got an Acti. I would take a sandbar over the Acti any day, but the Actis are great as well. Same with the Mitsubishis. I got a couple of those. Your sandbars are my favorite by far. So just do your research. See which one's going to work out best for you. But obviously the sandbar is the best route for when you want to do custom stuff like this, because you can actually see it and not, it's not all hidden like the other K trucks and K cars are. Can't really see that stuff. But yeah, so if you're in the sandbar mood, definitely follow along. We're posting sandbar stuff all the time, and maybe it will be helpful for you. Or if you have a sandbar and you need parts, you can check out okgarage.com, and I got all parts on there, from cylinder head bolts to grab handles inside the cab. Like, you name it, I probably got it. And if I don't have it, just reach out and I'll see if I can locate it for you in Japan. But yeah, cool. Thanks again for watching. Hopefully that was helpful. If you got questions, comment down below and I'll try to reach out. And I think I covered everything I kind of wanted to with the spark plugs. So yeah, peace.